So now in this lesson we will learn about bubble sort. Now bubble sort, again the intention is to sort this array of random numbers into a sorted set of numbers in order. If you have not seen the selection sort video, please look at the selection sort video before coming to the bubble sort video. So how does bubble sort work? We start with 23 and we compare with 32. Now is 23 and 32 in order? Yes, they are in order. So it becomes 23, 32. Now 32 and 56, are they in order? They are. So 56 can also come here. Now we compare with 48. Is 56 and 48 in order? They are not in order. So due to which we will swap 56 and 48 and make it 48 and 56. These numbers I am showing as it is. But now this number has changed position. Now I'll compare 56 with the next number, which is 17. Are they in order? They are not in order. So to make it in order, we have to swap again. And now 17 will come here and 56 will come here. Again 17 has been swapped. I'll compare 56 with 8. Same story repeats. And 8 will come here and 56 will come here. Please note, 8 doesn't go all the way in front. It simply moves one step in front. It bubbles up one step in front. So now 8 also moves one step, and if you notice 56 is slowly going till the end. Now 56 is the largest number in the array and it's slowly making its way till the end of this array. So I compare 56 with 43, it will swap. With 52 it will swap. With 21 it will swap. With 14 it will swap. Normally students learn bubble sort first and they find the code very simple and intuitive. It simply has Control C, Control V. We will change the name. Selection will be changed to bubble. We don't need the min position variable. We need two loops. Both will start at 0 and this loop will also start at 0. Not I plus 1 but simply 0. And each time I will compare j with the next number in that array, which is j plus 1. Now since we are each time comparing with the next number, we don't need to go all the way till 9. We can go one step before that. We can stop at 8 because at some time we will compare j with j plus 1. So there is no need to go all the way till 9. Going till 8 is equally good. Each time we compare, our aim now is, what did we say? Whenever we found something out of order, we need to swap. So swapping code was there in selection sort, Control X, and I'll paste it here. Make sure indentation is good. Any good C program should be readable, and this indentation helps us understand which code is within which loop or which if condition. Each time I compare, if j, when do we swap? When j is bigger than j plus 1, then we should swap it. So j, no caps, it should be in lowercase, and instead of min position it will be j plus 1, and j plus 1 will be replaced with t. So 3 steps. Swaps are always simple. T is equal to A is equal to B is equal to T. 3 steps. And we have swapped it, and that's all the code is. Each time the biggest number reaches the end, and that is our strategy. Now let us quickly check whether this worked. We'll have to call bubble sort in the beginning. So instead of selection sort, what we called last time, we will replace it with bubble sort. To test it, let us see if we have any errors coming up. Compile and run, and it's giving an error. Look at the error messages given at the bottom of this thing. It will say that we need to declare the prototype. So like we declared for selection sort, we could copy paste this and make a prototype for bubble sort. Compile and run. And we notice that the numbers have been sorted. Okay, so this is the bubble sort code. It is not the most optimized bubble sort code. We can optimize it further. These for loops can be made a bit more generic. Normally in such code, instead of having the actual hard-coded number, you will use a variable which gives the length of this array. So let's say the length of the array len is 9. How many numbers are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So length is 9. And wherever in the code we use a hard-coded number, we should ideally replace it with len, a variable which you have used. So instead of saying 9 in many places, we will use len in most of the code. So it's a bit of a cumbersome thing. It's something which we learn in the beginning. Using variables make it flexible. Tomorrow the array size is 100. Your code will still support because we have used a variable called len to do it. Len. So instead of 9, we are replacing everywhere with len. I could do a find replace, but I would like to show you that be careful with the code you have written. So this will be len, and this could be len minus 1. So go one step before. Okay. Again, this could be optimized further. We are not doing it right now. We will learn how to optimize bubble sort in a further code. But essentially, this is the simplest piece of code you could write. For I is equal to 0 to len, for j is equal to 0 to len minus 1. Each time, if it's out of order, we swap it. And that's all the code is. Simple code, easy to implement. And normally students prefer to do this in the lab if it comes. They find it very easy to do a bubble sort code and easy to memorize. But if you have really understood the code's flow, there is no real need to memorize. If you notice, the inner loop is j and the if condition is based on the inner loop j and j plus 1. So we'll just compile it since we did some editing. And we can see the array has been sorted and the numbers are in order now. Thank you. In the next class, we will go further on this path.